Welcome, welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to be talking about Jupiter in Leo with you. Okay. And let me make sure I'm recording to my computer. Let's see. Yes, I am. Okay. So put in the Zoom where you're calling in from and your Zoom, what sign do you have Jupiter in? Okay. Let's see. Ah. Okay, it's no worries if you don't know your Jupiter sign. Ah, I love it, seeing people from all over. Wonderful. Well, welcome to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm your host, Celeste Brooks of Astrology by Celeste. And the beautiful Ashley is here, and she is going to be helping to co facilitate. And she will be picking the people for readings when the time comes. So if you'd like a reading, you can just say, put in the chat, and Ashley will randomly pick someone when we get to that point. But I called this The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe for this transit. Okay. And if you're new to me, I am an astrologer, a teacher, and I host the Celestial Insights podcast, which is here to help you navigate every week by understanding what astrology is coming up and hopefully helping you to recognize the cycles as you move through the week. Because astrology is a language that it's a beautiful language of the stars, is how I view it, and we can translate what's happening here on Earth based on what is happening above. And it helps you understand not just what is coming up, but what is the archetypal energies and the symbology of what has become before. So I specialize in natal astrology as well as horary, which is answering questions. And I do a technique called chart rectification. So if you do not know your birth time, or you know someone who would love to be able to use astrology but doesn't know their birth time, which you need to know your ascendant and be sure of your moon sign and be really accurate with your own chart, you can tell them to email me at celeste at astrologybyceleste.com. I'm a Taurus sun, Aries moon, and a Cancer rising are my big three. I always love to start with a quote, and this one from Winston Churchill is so perfect for this energy. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. And we are in a time of immense change, and things are turning topsy-turvy that we weren't expecting to happen. And so sometimes, you just need to pick yourself up and dust yourself off. And this is a gift of Jupiter in Leo, because what it will help expand within us is courage and confidence, despite the fact that, you experience setbacks or turning points or have to change course unexpectedly. We're going to talk about Jupiter and Leo. I am going to introduce my course briefly, and then I'll do hot takes on people's natal charts. And I'm going to talk about previous cycles for Jupiter and Leo, so you can go back and look at and review your life. If you keep a journal, maybe you'll go back and look, and some things will be like, aha, this is what happened then. And you can can kind of understand what's going on in your life and think, oh, this is how I want to use this energy now. We're going to talk about the symbology of Jupiter as well as Leo, how they come together, what we may be seeing on the personal level, as well as some bigger themes in the collective. And then I've done forecasts for each sign, but I think I'll just send them to you afterwards so that I can do more readings. We'll see how it goes, how I'm doing with timing, because if you've been with me before, you know I like to wax and go on tangents, occasionally wax philosophically. And today is a Sagittarius full moon. So a beautiful day to talk about meaning, expansion, try to look at the world with the glass half full and more. So you can put any questions in the chat, as well as I will break and people will be free to come off mute and ask questions. So let's just talk about the basics to start out with. And yeah, if there's anything you really want to learn today or know, you can also put that in the chat as well. Ooh, Istanbul, I saw. Wonderful. Okay. So let's start with the basics. And Leo, the fire sign, is the star. Jupiter is the stadium. So we can think about that. But let's start with the planet, because the planets are the actors. They are really the foundation. And then the signs they're in are the costumes they wear. So this is Jupiter. Jupiter is the greater benefic. Venus is the lesser benefics. And the benefics aid and add to life. And Jupiter is protective. It is thought that because it's so big, it's the biggest planet in the solar system, that it protects the Earth from space junk hitting the planet. So that's one of the big things about Jupiter. It's protective. So like when you have Jupiter on one of your planets and things, you can think about it having that energy. It's expansive. What it does is it expands, makes bigger everything it touches. It's one of the things it likes to do is explore, whether we're thinking about exploring ideals or belief systems or thoughts, or exploring literally. It rules the signs of Sagittarius, which is really big in exploring and learning, as well as traditionally it rules the sign of Pisces. And it loves to be in both of those signs. It's often called the guru because there is big themes about the belief systems. Like Mercury is the information, it's the data, it's the like the pieces of everything. And Jupiter takes that and turns it into like wisdom and overarching philosophy and things like that. So the cosmic Santa Claus, because it's a planet of abundance, and it tends to bring us nice things. But Jupiter can also just make things bigger. No matter what, it can make it bigger. So it's not always positive per se. There can be themes of taking on too much when Jupiter is interacting with one of your planets. And it can bring a little bit of overconfidence where, sure, I can do that. Sure, I can do that. And next thing you know, you're juggling so much, the balls start to drop. So one thing to think about is really managing and being honest with yourself how much you can take on. It has associations with wealth and wealthy people, benefactors. It's the planet of obesity because it likes to do, more and more and more. And health-wise, it rules the liver. Jupiter has a lot of associations with success, royalty. Doctors are Jupiterian because they help us get better. Horses are associated with this sign, as well as judges. And Jupiter educates, it explores, it expands, it invests in. These are some of the things to think about. And we can also think about, our hips as well. Religion, belief systems. Now we take this planet of exploration and abundance and put it in the sign of Leo, which is a fixed fire sign. Jupiter is at home in Sagittarius, but it also enjoys and interacts well in the sign of Leo in a night chart, meaning when you have the sun underneath the horizon. Jupiter is what we call in triplicity, so it has a level of comfort in this sign. And what does Leo rule? It rules things like children, play. It is ruled by the sun. And so it really speaks to letting your light shine and really being your authentic self with Leo. Leo rules the heart and the upper back. It has associations with gold. And the stock market is probably going to be a big theme when Jupiter goes into this sign. Heat, we're going to have a really hot summer already in India. There is significant heat problems. So think about this ahead of time. If there are things you can do to mitigate, if you live in a place where there's big problems with heat, think about solutions, because with the oil crisis, people may be finding their energy bills are getting expensive and they're not wanting to run air conditioner and things like that. So I'm not an expert about keeping yourself cool, but proactively maybe think about that before the heat of the summer gets to where you are, about thinking about how can you use innovative solutions to keep yourself cool. Actors and performers are ruled by the sign of Leo. Leo is the star, the one on the stage who can put on a grand production. Now, fevers are also associated with this sign, as well as fire. So as well, think about fire prevention. If you live in a place where you have, a lot of brush or things, you can think about what can you do to clean it up, to make the fire hazards go down. And if you live in a town, you can think about maybe getting involved in your local community to raise awareness, or do anything you can to help people think about proactively. Maybe we can be doing something to reduce our risk of fire. Leo is celebratory. Now we take Jupiter and put it in this sign, and we're going to see abundance and the royal stage are going to be big topics that are coming up. So some of the themes of putting them together are about royalty. Is going to be a story. There's been rumors that King Charles may step down and let Prince William come up because of his health issues. But we're going to be hearing stories about other royal figures. I think there's going to be something going on in the Middle East, as the people in one of those countries that the people have really been pushed down by one of their royal families. We may see some big changes happening, as we are in the time of Pluto and Aquarius, where it's power to the people versus over the people, and that struggle to turn over the dynamics. Self-expression is a big topic. Creativity. So if there's something that you want to create, but you've been holding back, I don't have time, I don't do this, I don't do that, I'm not good enough, blah, 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 blah. Think about bringing more joy into your life. And joy doesn't necessarily cost a thing. So what can you do to make your life more joyful is something to think about. It's a big switch, moving from Jupiter in the emotional sign of Cancer into the fire sign of Leo. So we will be seeing themes of people really wanting to express themselves, be more creative, performing, being more dramatic. Now there's going to be an expansion of pride, ego, desires for recognition as well. The gifts of Jupiter being in this sign include generosity. We're going to see people being more generous with others and warm. Expansion of confidence, conversations about loyalty, charisma, radiance, courage and magnanimity. If you have Jupiter in the sign, think about your relationship with these traits. Now, every sign and every planet has a shadow energy. And for Jupiter and Leo, it can be excessive arrogance and vanity, a need for validation and ego inflation, or really wanting to hog the spotlight. So the dates are, and I put them on another slide. Sorry, I forgot to put, it's July in 2027. I will fix this before I send out the presentation. But just think about this. With Jupiter in Leo, it expands the desire for recognition, creative output, generosity, the appetite for the grand gesture. The United States, the president is planning this like cage fighting match or WWE on the White House lawn. It is so reminiscent of the Roman Empire times, where the Colosseum and the stadium with the gladiators. This is Jupiter and Leo energy. Yeah. Beware of spending beyond one's means for status symbols. There's going to be a lot of pushback on that. Yeah. I think we're going to be seeing stories about yachts and maybe a yacht sinking ships comes to me during this transit. It's a year-long transit. Jupiter stays in a sign for a year, and it comes back to where it was every 12 years. Now, people it elevates or puts in the spotlight are going to be performers, royalties, celebrities, artists, teachers, visionary leaders, and the boldly generous. Yeah, so these are the dates, June 30th through July 26th, 2028. And here are the previous cycles. So you can look at these dates, and I will send out this presentation so that you can look at the dates, think about what's going on in your life and what has been going on back in those times. And really, Jupiter and Leo is associated with fame. And there's been, over these last 3 cycles, really big changes in celebrity and who gets attention. Now, when back in 1990 to 1901, this cycle, August of 18th, 1990 to September 12th, 1991, we saw kingdoms crumble and superstars rise. So some of the major events were the Gulf War, and think about, where we are now again, the collapse of the Soviet Union, the rise of the World Wide Web, and Clarence Thomas hearings began. And I just saw this morning that Clarence Thomas may be charged with tax fraud in Virginia this week. So it'll be interesting to see him coming back to life. But I told you, Leo has associations with children. Nickelodeon Nicktoons debuted at this time back then. George Michael's Freedom 1990, that album was a wonderful album. And this was the time where the supermodels like Cindy Crawford and Naomi Campbell were really hot. And there was a whole group of them. And in that video, Freedom, they had the supermodels dancing with George Michael as he was singing this song, just like, really shining their light. So that's really a Jupiter and Leo theme. Madonna had the Immaculate Conception. Jupiter has associations with religion and with children. So the Immaculate Conception kind of brought them both in. And it was her magnum opus, where she brought together some of her greatest hits from other albums and debuted this collection. Home Alone was one of the top movies about this kid. And Leo has associations with the golden child. So this kid taking on these bumbling adults. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air brings in the royalty theme, and wealth is associated with Jupiter, and it's particularly Jupiter and Leo, and it has like a little bit of a show-off nature. And Beverly Hills 90210 was the top show back then. Now, there was a real transition in around 2002 to 2003, August of those years, where Jupiter entered Leo, where in terms of entertainment, fame became more spread out and democratic as we started to see, and it's happened a little earlier than this, but there were more and more of these shows that were reality TV shows that allowed, ordinary people to turn into stars. Some of the major events back then were the Iraq War, and a European heat wave was a big story related to Jupiter being in the sign. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, the star, the mega superstar, ran for governor and won in California. But there's romances associated with Leo and grand gestures and big rings. And it was the rise of Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez. And he bought her this ring. Engagement ring was like 10, I don't know how many carats. It was like pink or yellow or something like that. And it was like a big, big, grandiose thing that caught a lot of attention back then. American Idol debuted, as well as The Bachelor and Joe Millionaire. So there were all of these things related to reality TV and people becoming off the street, becoming famous. The movie Chicago, which had themes of people becoming famous for actually their crimes in that movie, that started out as a play and was based on real stories. And Bruce Almighty was a guy who thought he was God. Jupiter has associations with God as well. So that's a great movie to think about that came out at that time. Yeah, and the Da Vinci Code was, they were going all over. It had to do with Jupiter has associations with long distance travel in different places, and it was a great movie. Well, this was when the book came out, and it had to do with a lot of things related to symbols and religious iconography and other things. And by the time we got to July 16th, 2024 to August 11th, 2015, the last cycle, the most previous one that we just had, personality became more of a power. We can think about how this was when Donald Trump came down that escalator and said he was running for president. Themes of Caitlyn Jenner coming out and saying, like, this is me. I am a trans person. Ashley Madison hack happened at that time. So romance, but it was inappropriate romance with people who are married, having side affairs, and it all got leaked. And Michael Brown was shot and turned into lifted up as a fallen icon, became a symbol, a part of the Black Lives Matter movement. In terms of entertainment, Hamilton took the world by storm, turning the story of the founding of the country and Hamilton's role in it into a big, big hit. And Cinderella, Selma, as well as Birdman is a really great movie to watch around this energy, where a faded actor tries to reinvent himself in order to become a star on Broadway. So the big themes of celebrity. But I think for this cycle, the age of charisma is going to give way to tests of character. And we're already seeing it. It's like, put up or shut up. all this glitz and glimmer is wearing off. All that glitters is not gold. People are starting to see past the facade of all this celebrity and worship of wealth, and really people's eyes are being opened to how much especially now that we have all these billionaires who are just hoarding and sucking up all the assets of the world, taking water, taking land, taking everything in order to just enrich themselves, especially with AI. It's a big story. And, the failure there's a lot of hardship happening in the United States. And a lot of people are really unhappy with the direction it's going after this president who told people, no one can fix it but me. I can do it better than anyone else. Well, now we're in a war. Now we're having all these problems. The economy's suffering and more. And we're seeing Mondani in New York having successes, doing what he said he was going to do in terms of putting grocery stores, trying to help the common people rather than just letting everything flow to the top. So we're going to be seeing more and more of this, where with Pluto and Aquarius, this is a time where the wealthies just start taking so much that the people start fighting back. And it's power to the people. And historically, there's themes of Pluto and Aquarius. It was the time of the French Revolution, the American Revolution, the Haitian Revolution is a time of revolution where people rise up against the powerful forces that are trying to push everyone down and hoard everything. Let me see if there are any questions. Okay. Ashley, let me know if there's any questions or anything.
Okay, I'll look through them in just a second. I'm assigning everyone a number for hot takes.
Oh, wait, don't worry about it. I'll just keep going.
Okay. I did see some questions that were more personal, but I can look for them right now.
Let's just stick to the ones that everyone will benefit from.
Okay.
Okay, so it's really important. And sorry, everyone, I've been having some stomach distress. So I'm not my top 100%, but so bear with me. Okay, the ingress, the cosmic backdrop. So when a planet enters a sign, that moment colors the whole transit. And so right before Jupiter enters the sign of Leo, this is like a really big, it's really big energy. It's not going to like just tiptoe through the tulips into Leo, as you would not expect it to do, because Leo's about grand gestures. It's going to walk through this door and say, hi, I'm here. Let me tell you part of the story that's coming. Right before Jupiter enters Leo, Mercury, the planet of communication, commerce, and transportation, stations retrograde in the sign of Cancer, as we're having a full moon in Capricorn, which is called either the buck moon or the thunder moon. So here is a chart of when Mercury stations retrograde, and you can see Jupiter's at that last 29th degree of Cancer. Cancer is very protective. It wants safety and security. And this is something that as a planet is moving to conjunct another planet. So Mercury moves faster than Jupiter, and it's coming to catch up with Jupiter, and it stops, appears to stop in the sign and go backwards. So this is themes of, it's called reformation, when it looks like two things are going to come together or make an aspect, but then one of the planets turns and goes the other way. So just be mindful around this time. If you're expecting something to come through, it may be delayed. Retrogrades bring delays. or there can be conflicts that come up unexpectedly about something you thought that was going to go smoothly. So really pay attention to the timing, especially a couple of days before June 29th and after. This is when especially conflicts can really get out of control, because with retrogrades, especially Mercury retrogrades, people will say out loud things they would normally keep in their heads. So that's something to keep in mind. And I get the image of psych. If you, I might be dating myself, but you know, there was this thing when I was a kid where you'd say, act like you were going to give someone something, and you'd say psych and like pull back. I'm not sure if I spelled it right on here, but it's like taking back something before you give it. So pay attention to when you see that coming up. People are going to be experiencing heightened intuition, emotion, a connection with this unconscious. So just be aware and watch out for emotional overwhelm, because people can get emotionally overwhelmed and then have big outbursts as Jupiter goes into Leo. So if you can really be processing what's going on within you at this time, especially since it's a full moon in Capricorn. And the moon does not like to be in Capricorn. So the sun will be in Cancer, the moon will be in Capricorn. This axis is about the conflict between expansion and wanting to like achieve a legacy or build some kind of structure or like go after your ambitions. But that's Capricorn. But Cancer wants to stay safe and protected, and so there can be some real pulling on each of the sides of this. And Capricorn is very hierarchical, and with going in this sign, Jupiter and Leo, where you know everyone wants to be the star, there's energy of fighting against and moving past who you're told you could be in order to shine your light, be your most expansive self. You can see that. So really notice what's coming up within you as we move to that Capricorn full moon, and what stories you're telling yourself about, oh, I'm not good enough to do that. Oh, I don't have the talents for this or that or the other thing. Yeah, because the mood is a bit somber at this time. In terms of topics we'll be seeing in the collective, nationalism and tribalism can really be rising up. Be aware if you're traveling places, people are getting more and more like visitor get out kind of energy. So just be aware of that. With everything that's going on with the oil crisis, there can be difficulty procuring everyday items, especially things for women and babies. So if you have someone you know they're going to be having a child, it might be a good time to get or help them with anything, formula or supplies. Well, Ashley, can you mute that person? Oh, if you could see who's chatting. Thanks.
Yes, let me figure that out.
Okay. Yeah, so just notice there can be, in terms of procuring things early. If you're having a party, don't wait till the last minute to get stuff, because especially between the retrograde, which is June 29th through July 23rd, there can be delays in terms of shipping things. So just keep that in mind. A big thing I think about this transit is accidents from momentary distraction. What can happen with retrogrades, especially Mercury retrograde? People aren't thinking so clearly. They lose track of time. Don't leave kids or pets in a hot car or near water is something I keep getting this message to share. And Jupiter has associations with wealth, and Mercury has to do with markets. There can be stock market stuff going on at this time. So just keep in mind that it's really interesting that Mercury's retrograde and stationing, so like stopped as Jupiter enters the sign of Leo. And there's themes of this take back energy. Okay. And I'm calling this twist and shout with Jupiter going into Leo. So what is going to happen? And when any planet changes signs, and if you're really interested in learning astrology, start noticing. Astrology is about witnessing what stories are happening in your life and what are you seeing in the collective as the planet moves through the end of one sign and into a new sign. So at the beginning of each sign, there's a sense of newness. And as you get to the end, it's like there's this desire to express everything about it before changing signs. And so Jupiter in the sign of Cancer, where it is today, as it gets to this 29th degree of crisis and decay, it's like it really wants to express that energy before it moves into Leo, to zero Leo, and moves from water, emotional, intuitive, internal, into fire, expressive, expansive, external. And yeah, so the greater benefic is someone is, let me see if I can mute all. Okay.
I don't think I have control to mute all for some
I
reason.
got it. Sorry about that. Okay. So as the greater benefic leaves the sign of its exaltation, which is a VIP, it loses dignity. So think about in real life what this can be about. Like Cancer is associated with motherhood. So think about someone who's pregnant and growing a baby and their water breaks. This is Jupiter at the 29th degree of Cancer. And then they have the baby and their golden child is born. Think about the lion. Is it the lion? No, it's Roots when he holds up his child. Like the golden child kind of energy. So think about this. This can be like the firstborn is coming into life, and really incredible. And it doesn't have to be a child you're giving birth to, but if you've been working hard and on something that you're ready to launch, think about it. Think about how you're ready to show the world, let it shine with Jupiter going into Leo. This can be about hitting the jackpot. Carol Rushman, an astrologer, calls 29 Cancer the millionaire's degree. And through her work over 30 years of reading charts, she found often people with this degree either had wealth or came into wealth. And yeah, I've noticed it as well. So it's the millionaire's degree. So think about hitting the jackpot with Jupiter at 29 Cancer, and then it goes into Leo and you throw a big party. You put on the Ritz. You go out. Leo is associated with luxury. You go out and get yourself some fancy duds. Now, Leo has associations with like parades and celebrations. So Jupiter at that 29th degree could be, and with Mercury stationing retrograde, there could be very well be weather things coming up. So it can be like raining on a parade. So unexpectedly a rainstorm can come through. But think about what has been growing within you over the last year since Jupiter went into Cancer, and what is ready to take center stage, what are you ready to ignite, and whom will you inspire? This is Leo energy, motivate and dazzle, and maybe it's just yourself.
There is a question I think might be good to answer now. It is from Lynn. How is the Jupiter South Node conjunction in Leo going to affect the collective?
I'm going to get to that. Yeah, I have a slide about the South Node conjunction. Any others, Ashley?
I'll go through and make sure there aren't any more that are for the collective. There were a lot of personal ones, which we can answer if you're selected for a heart and hot take.
Yeah, and maybe I'll do more the personal ones after we get to that. Yeah. Okay. So this like really notice this switch, this energetic change. It's happening with Mercury stationing retrograde. So be prepared for delays if you're planning anything right around the 26th. Order things early is something to think about. But this is something that's going to color the whole transit. When Jupiter enters the sign of Leo, and this is Jupiter here in the fourth house, and it is going to square Chiron and Taurus. And Chiron's the wounded healer. Taurus is an earth sign that has to do with resources. We already know this story is here. So you have all these grand plans to expand yourself, but there is this tension, this pressure with Chiron in Taurus. Squares are tension. And Jupiter is opposite Pluto in Aquarius. And Aquarius is the collective. So Leo is the performer, the star. Aquarius is the audience. It's the collective.
You leave her alone.
Celeste, can you make me a co-host again? I think for some reason it didn't take.
Okay, let me.
Because I'm not able to mute.
Okay. Let's see.
Samsung.
I don't know. Why are people able to keep talking? Let's see. Let me make co-host. Okay, I did it again, Ashley. Hopefully that worked.
Thank you. We're seeing like early Mercury retrograde issues.
I know. It's a Sagittarius full moon. So I'm not surprised. There's chatter. We're in Gemini season. Gemini communicates. And yeah, it's all good. And Mercury is going through like the last degrees of Gemini. So it's the trickster is at work. So no problem. Okay. So Jupiter in Leo is opposite Pluto in Aquarius. So you can think about Jupiter in Leo wanting to expand your personal vision, be sovereign, shine your light. Opposite Pluto and Aquarius, the collective forces or group dynamics. Society is transforming. We're having like unexpected things coming up, you know, collectively based on a lot of climate change issues have been a big story as well as, you know, with the war going on and AI. And there's so many forces that are pushing against your desire to shine your light, do your thing, launch something new. So there is this tension and pressure, and oppositions can come in from outside of yourself. And there's like this seesaw that needs to be balanced. And then they both square Chiron and Taurus. So there's a pressure point around worth, values, security, resources. And I'm getting, really notice when things bubble up within you in terms of you feeling self-esteem issues coming up. Because a lot of people, their jobs have changed. They've gone away unexpectedly, or people just can't take it anymore doing like the corporate grind or whatever they were doing, and they're deciding to start new things. And this can be a lot of feeling like you're in like this big spotlight and being nervous about how the collective is going to, or the group is going to receive what you want to share. So just be mindful of this, that fortune is favoring the bold at this time, finding the courage to move forward despite all these pressures and tensions. Like some people are just crashing out. They can't take it. It's just too overwhelming. But if you can have the courage and the conviction to keep going, you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Yeah, and every time there's a T square, Leo and Aquarius oppose each other and both square Taurus, there's an outlet in the opposite sign of the apex. Chiron and Taurus is at the apex, and it's in Scorpio. And alchemy, think about how can you alchemize? How can you turn lead into gold? Can you turn this pressure you're under into purpose and find creative solutions when disruption unbends progress? And think about how working in community, you will get much farther than just doing things on your own. In terms of what we'll be seeing in the collective, this is one of the big things that's happening with this energy. Mars conjunct Uranus. I'm calling it Tornado Alley. There is going to be wild weather around this time in certain places. This transit, if you use geolocation, Mars and Uranus goes through parts of Vegas, LA, and whatnot. So there can be big issues with weather, air. We know we're going to have one of the worst El Nino years ever, but massive breakthroughs and innovative thinking and feats of strength. Maybe things we're seeing with Mars, the planet of action, drive, and assertion, connecting with Uranus, the planet of innovation. Uranus awakens. Uranus is scientific breakthroughs. It's like just breaking through boundaries. You're going to be seeing people party like it's 1999. The World Cup is going on at this time. I'm getting the image of rebel yell. Uranus has to do with revolutions and revolts. Viva la revolution. Places around the world are going to be, going wild. If you're going to see any World Cup games, really be mindful around this time. There could be a call from a ref. There could be a big conflict in some of these football, soccer games where there's a call that people are mad about. Fans go crazy. There could be some kind of pandemonium around that. It could just be in a local bar where people are watching this sort of thing. But yeah, there's some big things about delays or timing issues or ref calls that cause a lot of issues. Drones, there may be some new drones we see. And we're going to be seeing themes of like street takeovers, sideshows through July 4th holiday. It's going to be a lot of people trying to let off steam, and they're going to be disruptive. But watch out for psychological crash outs, fish flying, and screaming matches. So knowing what is going on within you is really important as we move to this time. I think there's going to be big stories at the World Cup elimination rounds with the stored disputes. It's explosive energy. Be careful if you see anyone with fireworks or all this stuff, really be mindful and be careful around them. Uranus and Mars are in the sign of Gemini, which rules the hands and the fingers. So people are going to be blowing their fingers off, that's for sure. Excessive fire and heat are going to be big stories. I already talked about, clearing your brush, having a fire extinguisher, especially if you're having like a barbecue and stuff. Just know about that. Think about something's going to be contained. It may have to do with health stuff, but there's themes of containment with what's going on. And big financial news can be incoming because Jupiter ruling wealth, dipping into Leo, there can be some market corrections, especially with Mercury retrograde. So these are some of the themes that we're seeing. I'm really expecting big stories around air quality, Uranus and Mars meeting in an air sign, as well as unexpected, coming out of nowhere, revolutions, revolts, things like that. But it can be like a lot of fun energy for people where you're going to parties and just having a great time.
There are a
But
couple
hopefully,
questions.
yes.
Okay, how is the Jupiter South Node conjunct? Oh no, sorry, I already asked that one. Hold on.
Oh, I might have just muted you, Ashley. You might have to come off mute.
Okay. Okay, here's another one. Can you say anything about the mid-July Barbault basket configuration where all the outer planets and Jupiter will be at 4 degrees in terms of the US versus the global collective?
Yeah, this is okay. So it's a big story, like with Jupiter entering Leo and squaring Chiron, there is all this pressure on resources, and the United States people are going to be starting to feel it besides just gas prices as we get into July. So, this Barbault basket is a configuration where there is, and Andre Barbault is a famous French astrologer who accurately predicted World War II and the COVID pandemic. And he saw this time in history, and he was talking about the Saturn Neptune conjunction, which happened on February 20th in the sign of Aries, seeding new starts in the whole collective. And we know there's been limitations on oil due to the war is one of the big stories that is changing the entire world because of things that are going on. There can be some, and I don't want to. I could predict all sides of things that could be coming up because Mars Uranus is so explosive, and there's such easy access to things to be happening that are coming out of control. I mean, just this week, Russia, a drone hit Romania. So there's real concerns about expansion of conflict, about potentially, China and them going into potentially into Taiwan or taking on Taiwan. There, and because the U.S. is so depleted in terms of weapons because of what's happening over there, that there's big themes about what is going to be happening around July 20th when we have, and I have this here, Jupiter is opposite Pluto. This could be the fall of kings or farewell to a king or a king-like figure or celebrities. It could be big things around leaders being exiting the stage, especially narcissistic leaders. And Jupiter is going to also be in a trine with Neptune in Aries and sextiling Uranus and Gemini, and they're all at 4 degrees. So anyone who has 4 degrees in any sign in their chart, this configuration, which can allow human beings to up-level themselves as a group into a new way of being. And this could be like somewhere in Bahrain or something, or, some place over somewhere, some kingdom, it could be anywhere, where the people rise up and take down like a royal family is what I think could be something that happens on the world stage. 4 degrees is very important for Israel. That's where their moon is. The moon rules the people, and they have a midheaven in Cancer. So that moon rules Bibi Netanyahu specifically right now because he's their prime minister. And he is in the hospital, last I heard. So, there could be themes of replacement or whatever in that area as well. It's going to be really interesting to see. But whatever happens, it's going to happen really fast. Boom. And something is going to completely change with this Barbault's basket. And we'll see exactly how it is, but it's a really dynamic configuration with these trines and sextiles. But I really see this Jupiter opposite Pluto is the fight against these, and we're seeing it in the US, the fight against these data centers that people are trying to protect their, their resources, their water, their land, places where people are hearing these noises all the time. So it could be a big turning point with the US. Also could be like Uranus and Gemini. Part of this is like kids getting like doing street takeovers, getting a little out of control and running through the streets. I mean, it could be pretty wild in July, but it also can be weather related. So we're going to be looking at themes of people celebrating and getting it out of control, the takedown of authoritarian regimes potentially, or monarchies, bad dust bowl weather, storms, like tornado-y stuff. And yeah, so for your own life, you may be, and this is a process that's been going on within you for a while, where you're being awakened to new ways of thinking and philosophies, figuring out you've got to adjust or pivot because, or planning ahead, seeing what's coming with the collective, with all these jobs going away, with AI coming forward, with the constriction of resources, and thinking about how maybe you're starting a side job or a side hustle, or think about ways to expand your own businesses and things, or your family. So it's a real time of like, there is really big changes in how people are thinking. There can be a story that the roof blows off on. It's a really big time, because on July 26th, the South Node, which is a cosmic drain, the South Node is a release point, and it's very karmic. It's going to go into the sign of Leo. It's going to connect to the President of the United States ascendant, which tends to be a time where people can have like health concerns, but it also turns things inside out, where you can see something. In the United States, Saturn in Aries is going to station opposite our natal Saturn in Libra from the fourth house. Saturn in Aries is going through the fourth house, along with Neptune. This speaks to all of the land problems that are happening, fires and all sorts of things. The fourth house is a house of land, the opposition party, rebels, housing markets. These are all fourth house topics. That's where Saturn is transiting right now, and it's in the sign of its fall. So the authority is, and institutions are falling. And then Saturn natally is at 14 degrees in the 10th house of the party in power, the executive branch, literally the president. And we're having this sustained opposition between Saturn opposition. If anyone's been through their Saturn opposition, which happens around age 42 to 44, it can be a time when you're under extreme pressure, where you feel like you need to separate from things, whether it's a job or a relationship, or you have a lot of things on yourself, like a lot of duties and responsibilities and things like that. So there's going to be big things happening at this time. And there could be people fighting against the government, could be a big theme that we're seeing. And it breaks out into the open. But we'll see what happens. This is really tense because Saturn's stationing retrograde, and retrogrades also pull back the tape so we can see what's underneath. It's going to be interesting to see what's going on at that time. I imagine it's going to be unbelievably hot in places in the earth. So keep in mind, if you are traveling, road trips, anything around that time, make sure you have water, because there can be unexpected delays with Saturn stationing retrograde. Don't leave the house without going to the bathroom, is what I would say about that. Now,
Celeste, do you have any insight on how this could affect the stock market?
The stock market, we're going to be seeing some kind of correction with the stock market. I think by the time November 11th comes down and Jupiter meets the South Node, that drain, that's like wealth going down the drain, a celebrity, somebody, it could be a person or it could be themes of the stock market. Traditionally, and I learned this from Bill Meridian, that traditionally when Jupiter moves from the sign of its exaltation down into Leo, there can be stock market correction. So just be aware there can be some kind of contraction. And we know the market is teetering on the edge with all this AI. It's just like some kind of shell game. This could also be the Jupiter opposite Pluto, like the AI bubble could burst at one of these times. So there's a lot that could happen, but we'll see how it plays out. But it is very significant this end of July for the collective. It's very personal to the United States because of that Saturn opposition. And we shall see, things can be coming out about elections and this fight to try to disenfranchise people. It's a lot of big stuff that is coming up with this transit. Yeah. And if you're wanting to start a business, think about what's going on collectively and what tools and things that will help people through this changing time where food resources and scarcity is going to be a big issue with what is happening right now. Yeah, it's kind of a tough time. It's not kind of tough. We're in a tough time, but we can still thrive and have joy. And joy is an act of resistance. Use our voice for what we're passionate about and still have a good life despite everything that's going on. But yeah, Jupiter meeting the South Node is a big deal. Jupiter stationing retrograde. This could be with stock market problems. Stationing direct. If you have anything around 27 Leo, like you have your Venus there or something like that, you're getting so much Jupiter, which is a benefic and expansive. And I would say from 25 to 29 especially, there can be themes of you getting this luck and abundance, possibly. It depends on your chart, the condition of Jupiter in your chart, for really making something grow. So think about, with this Jupiter meeting the South Node to drain, and start thinking about it now. What do you need to clear out so that you can have this amplification and growth of what you really want to grow, rather than just growing things willy-nilly, or just having so much on your plate, you start dropping the balls. And if you have anything by 16 Leo, where Jupiter stations direct on April 13th of next year, this can be really great for you as well, because you're getting all this double dose of Jupiter. Like Mars, if you're trying to take action on something, Jupiter coming to your Mars, that can be big themes of success, potentially. Yeah. So think about how you want to use the energy. And if you have anything in Leo, Jupiter will conjunct and expand that energy, whether it's a planet, a point like an ascendant or descendant, or one of your nodes. That could be really important as well. And remember, not everything is about you. We can see other people in our lives through our own charts. So say your descendant is at 27 Leo. Jupiter stationing there could mean your spouse gets a raise or a new job or a big bonus or something, comes into them that's big. Going through your fifth house. Hey, mom, hey, dad, I'm pregnant, could be what's coming up. Or Jupiter conjunct the planet that rules your children. It could speak to that. Yeah. Jupiter could also be about freedom from things. So think about that.
A couple of more questions, Les. And then we're to the hour, so I just want to also be mindful of time.
Okay.
But the next question is, how much do you trust AI for the info on astrology?
I would always double check it. It can make a lot of mistakes. So just always double check when you're looking at it. But it does have some good information in general. But I wouldn't put my whole chart in there and ask it what you think. But I know there are people who do that in their businesses about it. But it does make mistakes.
Okay, and then there's a question about how Jupiter will affect each house, but I'm pretty sure you're going to get into that.
Yes, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send the slides for each of the signs to afterwards so that I have time for people's charts because I don't want to. Well, we'll see. Let's just keep going. I need to talk faster.
And then the last question is just about best ways to stay grounded throughout all of this, which you'll probably address at some point too.
Mm-hmm. Best ways to stay grounded is just be aware of noticing what is coming up within you, using the energy intentionally, knowing where Jupiter is in your natal chart, what house it's going through, and thinking about this is an area where you'll have more ease and flow and ability to expand things in that area of your life. So think about that. What do you want to expand? How do you want to use this energy intentionally? Okay. These are some movies that speak to, especially that Jupiter and Leo, like the star opposite the collective energy. And you can see this in heroes that stand up against oppression, like Harriet Tubman, the movie Harriet, Norma Ray, Braveheart. Erin Brockovich is back in the news. And she's fighting against and gathering information on these data centers. That's a great movie to watch and be inspired by how this one person made such a huge difference. Yes. The Hunger Games is one. It's going to be literal as well as what's going on. The Matrix, finding out. Jupiter also has associations with the truth, finding out secrets. The Handmaid's.
Celeste, we can't see your slides,
What?
or
You
unless
can't.
it's just me, but I only see you.
I can see it.
Okay, just kidding. It's just me.
Okay. I'm like, wait, this whole time you can't see my slides? Okay. Narcissistic collapse. This is going to be a big thing with like kings or leaders or, royal type figures, big billionaires. Maybe Mr. Wonderful will get his comeuppance. Yeah, that the kingdom's being lost. And some movies that I think about this, excesses, Leonic excesses like Caligula, Citizen Kane, The Last King of Scotland. That's a great movie. So these are great. Succession is a great TV show that speaks to this. King Lear. Oh, I put The Last King of Scotland twice, so definitely check that out. Yeah. So the Odyssey is coming out this summer. That is a perfect movie for Jupiter in Leo. This epic journey of this, the king who's trying to get back home after the war is so in line with, and has all of these adventures, fights all these monsters is related to this energy. Black Panther is a great movie for this energy as well. So this is really important to keep in mind as we move through this Jupiter transit. It's not an ordinary Jupiter and Leo transit where Jupiter just goes through the sign, expand, expand, expand. There's a lot of tension. I talked about the opposition to Pluto, the square to Chiron, but Jupiter is also going to meet the South Node. As soon as the South Node, the nodes go through the sign backwards. They go from 29 to 0. Jupiter's going from 0 to 29, and they are the Jupiter in the South Node, which is a drain, a release valve, is going to meet at 25 degrees of Leo on November 12th. This is a big deal. What is going down the drain when Jupiter meets the South Node in Leo? It is really interesting. I'm calling it the bonfire of the vanities. This had to do with burning luxury goods back years ago. A preacher who was fighting against the church, things about excesses. It was also a great book by Thomas, I think it was Thomas Wolfe. It's a great book, and I like the movie. The movie got a lot of bad press, but I liked the movie Bonfire of the Vanities. I think it was Melanie Griffith, Bruce Willis, Tom Hanks, where a rich person has a car accident with a poor person, and it really speaks to this energy of the Leo opposite Pluto and Aquarius. Yeah. So this is a great time when something meets the South Node to show them what you're made of, but there's also going to be release and depletion. So think about whatever you're growing in this Leo house. One of the highest expressions of this energy is to offer your gifts freely, not meaning that you have to give your services for free, but think about, like, say you're an astrologer and you don't specialize in something like astrocartography, recommend other astrologers or chart rectification. You can send people to me, like working together with other people, sharing gifts, boosting other people up. This is a great way to use this energy. And don't make recognition the cost of you contributing to something. So think about that. Think about how you can lift other people up with you. Really recognize the shadow Leo traits within yourself, because ego inflation, excessive pride, arrogance, if these things start bubbling up, this can be destruction of relationships, especially because Venus is going to go retrograde in the sign of Scorpio later this year, October 2nd through November 13th. So this can be real big because Venus is in the sign of her detriment, real big problems in relationships. People watch out for vanity, attention seeking, or entitlement. And people are under so much stress. As much as you can be aware of these themes coming up, the better you'll do with this, because people will be having downfalls, whether it's a show off, celebrities, royalty, religious leaders, judges, university professors, egomaniacs. I think we're going to have exposure of cheating in contests, maybe even things around elections. There is heart-stopping suspense energy. Leo rules the heart. If you have any concerns about your heart, get it tested. Really pay attention, especially around this date. There's something that's to be aware of. Like if you have high blood pressure, get it under control if you can. Big scandals. The election is going to be a huge story this year. The election's like November 3rd, 4th, or 5th. I can't remember the exact date, but Mercury's retrograde, like it was in 2000 with George Bush and the hanging chads, as well as Venus is retrograde. So, but they station direct on the 13th. This happens on the 12th. There can be elections where we're not finding out what the story is till about this time. And Mercury is squaring the lunar nodes for the US. So there's going to be big stories around elections and the fight to have them. And I call this the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And there's real energy bubbling up in the collective, especially on the far right, about literally taking women's rights to vote. There's some far right influencers who are promoting that the husband should vote for the whole family, one vote, this sort of thing. They're talking about taxing women who don't have kids by the time they're 30. There's all sorts of things. A big part of this time is trying to get women out of the the workplace back into the home and making babies. So there could be a lot about policies, trying to get people to have kids and things like that. But I think there's going to be big stories about elections. I don't know if there'll be a big release of news about what happened in 2024 with Kamala and the president, or even back to 2020, 2016. I've seen some, whether there was anything around that time that comes to our conscious attention. So we'll see what happens, but I'm seeing the lion. We're seeing all these Leonic type figures roaring. The president's a Leo rising. The president, Benjamin Netanyahu, is represented by the Leo moon in Israel's chart. Iran talks about the lion. So we're seeing that conflict. The witch, a lot of pushback against, women who are independent, feminist, anything like that. In the wardrobe, this private place can also be considered the ballot box. So we'll see. So let me just let you know a few things that are coming up, and then I'm going to do a hot take reading. So Ashley, if you could pick a couple of people for our hot take readings.
Okay, I assigned numbers 1 through 111 so far.
Oh, okay.
1 through 111. So if we can do random, I can pick randomly too.
Yeah, can you pull up random number draw and just pick randomly?
No problem.
Yeah. So Tiffany Herlick, Sarah Lahar, and I are doing our mid-year check-in. We're framing the vision. That's going to be on June 30th. If you're on my mailing list, you'll hear about that. So we'll get into as well more of what's coming up in general. I will be speaking at UAC on September 8th. So if you're going to be in Chicago, please come attend my talk. And I have 2 more spots for my peer group, which is going to be happening in Oakland in September. So if you want to join, don't hesitate. There are only 2 spots for this. And these are all on my website. And I will as well send a link to my website page with the recording. If you want to learn more about your natal moon, I think one of the best ways to move through this time is to understand what you need emotionally. When your natal moon speaks to that story, with the sign it's in, the house it's in, the aspects it's making. And I have a mini course that can help you learn about this. We're going to have 2 live sessions, June 7th and 21st. You'll also get a lot of resources and a daily moon tracking guide. And by the end of this course, you'll not only have insights on your moon sign, you'll also have the tools to care for your emotional well-being. If you sign up today, I will pick a winner for a free natal chart reading. So Ashley, or I can do it. I'll drop the link to the course in the chat. And I will pick a winner for a free natal chart reading if you sign up today. Or I'll give you till tomorrow. You sign up by tomorrow and someone will be selected for a free reading.
There's a question on if you know when you will be back in the UK.
I do not know. Not yet. Oh, and I got to fix these dates. I'm going to do it right now. I am a mess today. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. My stomach was going topsy-turvy right before we started. I'm feeling better now. I ate something last Friday and it has messed me up. Okay. And it's not 11 a.m. I think it's 4 p.m. Anyway, I'll fix it. I'll fix it and send it out to you. But regardless, the cost is $97 for if you pay in one, or 55 two payments of 55. And I believe the top is 4 p.m. Pacific time, because I wanted to make it so people in Australia, if they wanted to join, they could join. Okay, so what I've done is in here, each of the signs, you can look to what is your sun sign and your rising sign. And I'm showing you on the chart where Jupiter is transiting. And then the opposite sign is where Pluto is, the opposite house. So these are the houses, and each house has, and this you can just Google or use ChatGPT. What do the 12 houses represent? Give me a list, and it'll give you a good list for the 12 houses. And you can think about, what are you expanding with Jupiter? Where is there pressure coming in? Feelings of feeling like, oh my God, I don't want to embarrass myself or humiliate myself in front of that audience over there, or have them throw tomatoes at me with what I'm doing. Chiron brings up the wounds, and the wound is about resources, self-esteem, and the sign of Taurus. And so there's this big tension, and the outlet is in the house that has Scorpio on the cusp. What can you alchemize in this area to bring success? And you see this for each of these, and you can just look up what the house means and what the topics are. And I've given you just like a forecast. So for an Aries sun or rising, this is your year to create. Jupiter's going through your 5th house. And that is a house of joy, children, self-expression, things you create for joy. And, doubts may surface about your self-worth and whether you really can do it. Being disciplined is the way to move forward, because Saturn's in your 1st house. And there can be a lot of old doubts that come up, in the collective is going through so much. You may feel like, can I do it? But your prompt is, what would I create if I stopped waiting for permission from the world to value me and did it? Yes. And I think I'll just send this to you rather than going through each of them, in the effort to save time so that I can do more readings for people. So I hope that works out for everyone. If anyone really wants me to say their sign, I can do so. But you will get this presentation, and it will help you think about, what's going on. And you can even print out your sun sign as well as your rising sign. The rising sign is often more accurate, but I find that I'll see stories related to both. Think about with Jupiter, where do you want to grow? Where do you want to expand? Be open to receiving abundance in these areas. And if they're in your 1st, 4th, 7th, or 10th, those are the angular houses. This means there is real energy for expansion. The angular houses are the seats of power. And so for Taurus, it's at home. It's about getting your foundation together. But why don't we do readings so that I can do readings for people?
So the first number is going to be 73. So if you are 73, feel free to come off mute, and then you can provide Celeste with your birth time and info. If you didn't get a number, that you should be able to look at the top in the chat where it says everyone or private message, and there should be a message from me. If you don't have that, feel free to put it in the chat, and I'll make sure you get a number. But is number 73 available?
Okay, do you want to pick another one?
No 73. Okay, the next one is 104.
Oh my goodness. That's me, Celeste.
Is that Uta?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. You are a Leo. So
Leo rising.
Leo rising. Okay. Aries sun. That's right. Let me see if I have you in here. I might. Maybe not.
It's my day.
It is your day.
Jupiter is already knocking on my door.
Yes. Okay. I don't see you in here, so let me just put your birth information in.
Yeah, I was born on April 19th, 1965 at 12:45 p.m. in a town called Spital, Spittal, and then in Austria, but there's a couple of those in Austria. Let's see what it gives you. Spital an der Drau, that's one. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay. So, and let me. Okay. April 19th, 1965, 12:45 p.m. Pacific time.
Right.
Well, the first thing that jumps out at me when I look at your chart is that your ascendant, there is going to be a solar eclipse, a new start for you, August 12th at 20 degrees of Leo. So it's a direct hit to your ascendant. So let me pull that chart around your.
Should I be scared or excited?
I think you should be excited. Let me see. Now, whenever you have a solar eclipse to your ascendant, because it rules your vitality, or your sixth house, because it rules health stuff and things that can go wrong with your health, always, get a full checkup. Be mindful of what's going on with your vitality. But I think it gives you an opportunity to share what you know, share your stuff. Do you have any singing engagements around that time?
No, I'm not sure, but I'm actually creating workshops for women where I sing and I do vision work and basically bringing out each and everybody's voice. Not just singing, but also in life, What's my voice? Where's my voice?
I love that. So you're going to be caretaking in some way with Mars going through in Cancer through your 11th house. You're going to be having groups coming together to do this. Is this in person or online?
In person.
I love that. Absolutely. And yeah, it's going to propel you up. Now it's a south node eclipse. So there's also letting something go. You've got to be mindful of not exhausting yourself too much, thinking about, oh, what can I handle? What can I not? So just keep that in mind with this. Saturn's on your Mercury. So around that time, you can be really, really working hard or concentrating on something, or your husband may be getting on your last nerve with Saturn on your Mercury. But it's like there's some kind of like mental, you're really feeling like you've got a lot of responsibilities, duty, pressure, or you're trying to learn something and get it right. Does that feel right for that timing that you know of?
It does feel right. I really feel like my relationship is on the brink of changing right now. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Chiron's coming to your Venus.
Right. Yeah, great.
So it's not going to happen till next year, but Chiron's the wounded healer. So everything may be exposed. That's an issue in order. And it's going to be about resources, physical stuff. Like it could be about the getting busy in the bedroom, or yeah.
Getting busy in the bedroom with him or somebody else?
Well, that's up to you. I don't know about that. I'm saying that could be somewhat, if anyone out there has got Chiron on their Venus, there may be a story about like one partner is feeling like there's not enough affection or something like that in the bedroom. But your identity, your ego, all of this, your vitality is all going to be in focus as you've got this eclipse to your ascendant. Yeah, be really mindful about your upper back. Don't strain yourself, especially around that day. but Jupiter is coming to your ascendant. So this speaks to you shining brighter, expanding, thinking about like, how do you want to use this 1 in 12-year transit? Go back and look at the dates where Jupiter was in your first house, you know, in Leo before, and what was going on in your life then. Are there any lessons from back then you want to take forward? And
so I just want to ask you, since I have a very late degree ascendant in, so the Jupiter is going to be in my 12th house for a while. And so that will affect more those topics, right?
Yeah, you might need to retreat before you come out and let everything shine, like at the beginning of it. Really focus on self-undoing in any way and being aware of that.
Yeah.
Maybe you need an actual retreat or hosting a retreat, or like taking time to really do something spiritual. Because one of the things is Jupiter is trine Saturn, so there can be energy, they're working together. So this is like expanding in a controlled fashion. So it can be really, really lovely energy. I pulled this card for you, the Lighthouse Searchlight. The Lighthouse Searchlight. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a little doggy, and there's a lighthouse here. And so I feel like this is about you being a lighthouse to these women that you're using sound, performance, singing to. Jupiter rules your 5th house of self-expression, what you create for joy, children, all these things. So there can be big themes about you letting your light shine. Even in a storm, even in the swirl of confusion, despair, and shadow, the light does not go out. The lighthouse searchlight is the quiet, unrelenting knowing inside you that refuses to dim. It is not flashy or loud. It's focused, steady, piercing. This card arrives when you're navigating through uncertainty or emotional fog. You may not know where you're going, but something within you knows how to steer. So really think about Jupiter going through that 29th degree of Cancer. This is the fog. And then you get into 0 Leo and you start to see the story. You start to get clarity. You don't need a full map. You need the next signal, the next blink of truth. This card reminds you that your soul always knows the way home. So, yeah, this is a card of constancy, not perfection. Steady, soul-rooted radiance. You are a light that calls others home, not to you, but to themselves. So think about how what you're doing, your seminars are helping people come home to themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. Wow, that's so spot on. Thank you. Amazing.
You're very welcome. It was so good to chat with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You take good care.
You too.
The next number is 27.
Can you come off mute? Okay, let's just move to the next.
To 91.
Hello.
Hi.
Remember meeting in San Rafael?
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. 27 is here. You can go next,
Okay.
Deb.
Oh,
no, I can do whoever's off mute now, and then I'll do 27 next.
Perfect.
Okay, and who is this? Is this Deb?
91 is Sarah.
Sarah, okay.
Yes.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Get out of the light here. How are you?
So we met in San Rafael?
Yes, at the New Living Expo. You bought crystals.
Oh, yes. Oh, nice
From
to have
me.
you here. I can't see you. I'm just looking at
Do you remember?
Now I see. Oh, Sarah.
How about now?
Yay. Okay, now I see you.
Like, hi.
I'm loving your crystals. They're right on my desk. Tell everybody your business name.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Rock My Soul.
Rock My Soul. I have Sarah's wonderful crystals on my desk here.
I love that.
Okay, what's your birthday?
It is May 1st, 1973.
And the time?
10:53 a.m.
And where?
Midwest City, Oklahoma.
Midwest City.
Yep.
Oklahoma. Okay, May 1st, 1973, 10:53 a.m. And you are a Taurus sun. Now, I'm May 3rd, just so you know.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. A Taurus sun.
It may not matter, but
Cancer rising, just like me.
There's no H on my name.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
Sorry. Oh my God. I didn't realize we had the same big three. Okay. So have you been making big moves with your business? Because Saturn and Neptune met at your midheaven. Like, I know, are you like doing something where you're having more shows at your home or something like that? I think you mentioned.
I opened my own little crystal shop, but I did that in December.
That's perfect. That is right before Saturn and Neptune came together in Aries. You're pursuing the dream. You're going for it. You're having the gusto. And It may feel like it's been a little bit of a rocky road, but when Jupiter goes into the sign of Leo, it will make a trine to your midheaven, and then it's going to go trining all of this stuff. Now, yeah, this can be really nice because trines are easy flow of energy. You may be growing things more easily. Really think about where you want to be in August 12th when there's that solar eclipse in Leo. Let me see. Is there anything you want to do about your resources around that time? There can be new starts. There can be growth in this area. But in November, there might have to be like some kind of outlay of something. I'm just pay attention to your tax liabilities so that you don't get caught next year at tax time.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And Saturn is stationing up there. Let me see anything else. Oh, Venus at this eclipse. Think about your messaging and maybe think about how you promote yourself, maybe doing more. Do you do little reels or anything?
I really am horrible with social media. I really could do a lot more.
Maybe think about giving yourself, like, I'm going to do this once a week and I'm going to commit to it. And I'm just going to do something where I talk about a crystal. You're not doing this for you. This is about helping people learn about what it is. So, like, I have this. I can't remember what the name of the crystal is.
I can't see it very well. I have a note of what you bought, though. I could find it.
Well, here's a red one, a big red jasper. So, like, you could just sit and tell people about what red jasper is good for, and just share your knowledge. And
I have such a block of doing that, and I don't know. I think, like, even being on here right now talking to you is really, I'm just ignoring that there's a million other people, like it's really hard for me to do that, but I do it a lot. I do it at home. I do it with friends.
Well, Chiron and Taurus
I do it by myself. So just put a camera on, right? Just do it. Oh, I think that there's some lag and it's chopping a little bit. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
You go.
Okay. Chiron is coming into the sign of Taurus, where you have your sun, and it will be bringing up maybe understanding more. What is the wound that is stopping you from going forward with things that could benefit your business? Because I'm assuming you want it to grow because you opened a shop and all of these things. Is that correct?
It chopped out. I didn't hear the last part of it. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, I'm assuming you want your business to grow.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yes.
And what can you do? What can you do to get past these things, these blocks that tell you, I don't want to do, and I bet with Taurus energy, there's also always a theme about self-worth and value. So, and you've got your Sun and Venus in the 11th, so you want to appear in a certain way, like looking good to the collective. You've got your South Node in Cancer, so you're sensitive, very sensitive, especially to criticism, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Painfully.
there's themes of like embarrassment is probably in your mind. The worst thing that can happen is being embarrassed. So I want you to think about healing these things and doing what you want to do despite them. This is a great opportunity for you. And I pulled the card interpretation. So this is what I think you can do if you want. If you don't want to talk on reels, you could make a little artistic thing, but I think people connecting with you and you just do it to help share your love of crystals would be a wonderful thing to do and target getting it started.
I do have a list of all of the
June 9th, if I were you.
Okay.
June 9th, Venus and Jupiter are coming together in the sign of Cancer at 25 degrees. I'm calling this wedding bells. What do you want to commit to? It's squaring your moon. So that is like, oh, I'm nervous. And Mercury in the sky is squaring Saturn. Oh, this pressure to do
I have a list of things to talk through. Yeah.
And you do it, and it will be a start of something that grows, that brings success, that brings abundance. So once a week, that's all you have to do. A reel can't be more than 3 minutes.
It's so easy to do, huh?
Once a week, you just do it. You can start it. You can take 3 weeks to do it if you want, or whatever. Not 3 weeks, whatever, 9 days or 10 days.
Right.
But I want you to launch that first one if that's something you want to commit to, and then do it once a week, the same time every week. You post it.
Okay, I could do that.
That's one thing that could make a change and bring benefits. And you're going to Google what's a good caption or use AI. This is what I want to do. I want to grow my crystal business. It'll even give you a script. I want to talk about this stone that does this, that, and the other thing, blah, blah, blah. What should I put in the caption to get people to buy it?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. It was great to see you.
Nice to see you too. So
take good care.
Mwah.
And then we're going to go back to Deb, number 27.
Deb. Come off mute.
Are you able to come off mute, Deb?
I can't hear you.
They can't see their face to unmute. Let me see if I can find you and unmute you.
Okay, put your
They did put their birth info, so it is July 27th, 1955 at 12:59 p.m. in Norwalk, New Jersey. And while you're doing that, I'll see if I can unmute.
Thank you. You said 12:59 p.m.?
Norwalk. Let me go back. It was, yes, 12:59. Oh, and she says Norwalk. No, sorry. Newark. 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 Sorry.
That's all right. I'm from New Jersey. It's Newark.
Newark. Okay.
Can you tell I'm not? So no. Deb you've got a Leo stellium. So, wow. So you're a Sun, Jupiter, Mars, and Pluto and Leo all in the 10th house. What really jumps out at me is you have Uranus up there too, although it's in the sign of Cancer. Is there something, my question would be, is there something you want to grow, either related to business or your career? Is there something that you want to be a part of? Like when the 10th house is activated, it could be like being on a board of something, using your talent, using your gifts, using your light to help something expand. Or maybe you just want to have fun and vacation and enjoy yourself. But you've got all this Leo energy, your moon conjunct Saturn and Scorpio, and a Libra rising. So it's going to be a really interesting. Jupiter and the South Node is going to meet conjunct your Pluto up there. So I wonder if you're about to retire. Are you still working? Are you going to retire?
I have a small little business that I run, a mobile notary business.
Okay, I want you to be really conscious of what's going on around November timeframe, because that Jupiter South Node is happening near your Pluto. That could be about power struggles. Is your mother alive, or is
No, she's passed.
Okay, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what comes up around that time.
Could it be
Because
someone else in my life?
Hmm?
Could it be someone other than my mother?
Yeah, it could be someone at work. It could be.
But it's related to my mobile notary business?
It could very well be, because you have Pluto in the 10th house, and you've got Pluto rules your second house of resources. So, I mean, it could be that you make some donation to something, but I just want you to be mindful and aware of what's going on. It doesn't have to be anything bad, but there could be something about like some kind of power struggle with someone. Or if you're a mobile notary around that time, I would be extra careful around, like if you get a spidey sense, like, I don't like this, don't listen to your gut. Don't do it. And I would take those days off. I would take off November 10th through 15th if you can.
Okay, thank you for that.
Or just at least the 12th, 13th, because Pluto can be really intense, and it can be about power struggles or being embarrassed. It could just be like you're embarrassed because your pantyhose are run. But
Well, when I had my last solar return done last July, Pluto was opposing my sun.
And how did it go over the last year?
Well, not good. Yeah, not good. So is that still hanging around?
Yeah, let's see. Let me just look real quick about let's look at your solar return.
No.
Okay, so, well, Neptune is at your 4th house. So it could be about like a neighbor or something. Where do you live now?
Fort Monmouth, New Jersey.
Mm.
Central Jersey on the coast.
Mm.
The water.
Okay. You're a Sagittarius rising in this. Do you plan on any big trips or learning things, or is there anything going on with your hips or your thighs?
Not that I know of. I have no big trips planned. Day trips into New York City. I'm not having any health problems, not that I know of.
Let's look at the dual wheel just really quickly. So 13 Sagittarius falls in your 2nd house, and the moon's in Capricorn. Trying your Mars. I wonder, are you trying to like expand your mobile business? Are you trying to grow it? Is this something you're like really?
Sure, I would like to get it moving forward better, sure.
Okay, so well, now that Jupiter is coming into your midheaven, this is an opportunity to move your business forward. So just like sustain, like think about, what am I going to do to attract more clients at least once a week, maybe more, and commit to it and do it, and it will grow past what you're expecting.
Wonderful.
Expecting it to be. Yeah. I would just be mindful about power struggles around this time. It might be that you're outraged about what's going on with the elections or something like that. It may it may be about the world, not with you particularly. But I just want you to be aware the South Node on your Pluto and Jupiter coming to your Pluto. I just want you to be paying attention to what's going on around you.
Anything with romance.
Well, it could be because Jupiter rules your 5th house, which is the house of dating, and your 3rd house, which is the house of communication, house of siblings, coming to Pluto. That maybe you'll have a 9.5 weeks kind of romance. Where you're
I don't know
really
about that.
But at that time, Mercury and Venus are retrograde. So I want you to be mindful about if you meet someone like right then, that can be really positive because when you meet someone, when Venus is stationing direct and Venus stations direct, this is Carol Rushman's work, that can be great when you meet someone right at the end of that because it can have staying power. So if you meet someone around the 10th to 15th, but take it slow, I would say.
Okay, thank you.
It really gives a chance to really get to know someone, especially if you meet them between October 2nd and that November when Venus is retrograde, especially because you're a Libra rising, Venus rules your chart. So and you have Scorpio in like 2nd house. Yeah, just be extra careful about paying attention to money stuff around that time.
Okay.
Never mind, sorry.
Let me pull you a card. Ooh, I pulled the Rose of Revelation. This is a great card.
Oh, good.
Rose of Revelation. Let me just give you a few things about it. And Ashley, who's the next person? Just tell them, and they'll have to be the last person. Oh, this is really, some truths arrive with thunder, not with thunder, but with soft unfolding of the petal. When this card appears, you're asked to honor the kind of knowing that blooms slowly from the inside out. Not all awakenings are dramatic. Some truths whisper, some clarities come in waves. Felt first in the body before the mind catches up. This is a gentle revolution of insight, a soul truth coming into focus. So you may be, with the South Node coming to your Pluto, really understanding, in Leo, understanding about yourself, these Leo type things about pride, about being concerned about how you look in front of other people. It could be coming from a romance that this is coming up to the surface. And it could be really healing of old wounds and things like that. This gift of this card is subtle but profound. The instant the fog lifts, the warmth that spreads in your chest when something clicks, not just intellectually, but soul deep. So, yeah, this could be a really great time to face your shadows or anything around that. Yeah, Chiron is squaring. Chiron will be squaring your natal Chiron. The 7th house. So this could be something about, it could very well be something about romance. You could meet someone when Jupiter is on your Venus or coming to your Uranus, but this could be a great opportunity to expand your business with Jupiter going through your 10th house. But you take one step towards Jupiter and you go 3 steps forward. So think about the things you do during the cycle could grow your business better. Now we know the South Node's coming there, so you want to be careful not to exhaust yourself. There may be certain things that you have to say no to, like, no, I won't drive this far anymore because of gas prices or some things. There's some kind of release with the South Node, but you have the opportunity to have some nice growth. And you've got Jupiter conjunct Mars. So if you put the energy and drive into things, you can make things grow, I would think.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Much.
Well, you take good care. Yeah, and just pay attention. I think, you put in the work and the discipline, you can make some money moves.
Thank you.
Yeah, the Sun and Jupiter are in your 8th house. That's interesting. Okay.
So the last person will be number 73. We called them first, but they weren't available, and now they're here.
Come off mute. Leo and Jupiter at 25 degrees. Wow. So somebody has that. And Jupiter at 25 degrees, and you're having your Jupiter return with the south node on your Jupiter. Now, Judith Hill says it's not a great time to travel when the south node is on your Jupiter. So keep that in mind. There's something about expanding, and you're going to be recognizing, learning things about your patterns, I think are really important. And think about if there's something you want to release. I don't know your age. Is there, like, are you going to do your will if you have kids, or who do you want to give your wealth to when you, or your assets to when you pass on? That could be something you're doing or thinking about when Jupiter, during this Jupiter return. Or, yeah, I would think about what house it is. Oh, Anna, I'm so glad you're excited about the class. Yeah. Okay, is 73 or 70 whoever here?
Okay, they're not coming off mute, so
Okay.
unfortunately we're gonna have to move forward. So the next number is 58.
58. 58, come off mute, and I will answer some of the questions in the chat. So Uta asked about whole sign. So when I'm talking in general about sun sign and rising sign, I just use whole signs for that. You can think about, and I think it works very well. You can also look at your chart in Placidus or whatever else. But just in general, the themes of the house, whole sign works well because whole sign is more about the where, I find, and Placidus is more the psychology. So the houses, the themes of the houses should show up just using whole sign. Okay, did the person come?
58, are you here? Okay, let's move forward again. 112.
Okay, 112.
Hello.
Hi. What is your first name?
Okay, is 112 here?
Principe.
Oh, they came off. Okay.
What's your first name?
Principe.
I'm going to put
It's spelled
Percy.
PR.
It doesn't matter. What's your birthday?
January 24th, 1991.
19 what?
91.
91. Okay. And your time of birth?
10:02 p.m.
And place?
Paderborn, Germany.
Can you spell that for me?
P-A-D. The P-A-D.
P-A-B?
P-A-D.
B-O-R-A?
E-R.
Here, let me look it up. You said Germany. Ah, here we go. Paderborn. And how do you spell your first name?
It's spelled P-R-I-N-C-I-P-E.
Okay, Principe. Okay, January 24th, 1991, 10:02 p.m. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so Principe, you are an Aquarius sun. a Taurus moon and a Virgo rising. So the thing that jumps out at me when I look at your chart, Pluto in the sky is on your sun. So these last couple of years since 2023 have likely been a huge evolution for your identity, where what Pluto does is it burns things down to the studs in order to be rebuilt, where maybe you let go of all sorts of things, or things fell away from your life, or they just went away from your life, or you became aware of a lot of things about yourself. In Aquarius, there's some theme with your sun and identity in Aquarius about feeling different than others, or sometimes being exiled, or the black sheep of the family, or just thinking differently than other people. Does that connect with you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So have you had like big transformations over the last couple of years?
In my life, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got all this Capricorn stuff. So I bet your family life, there was a lot of pressure to achieve, or just a lot of responsibility at home, or things like that. Now, you are going through a lot of stuff right now because Uranus has come to your Mars. Uranus conjunct Mars can be like, oh my God, pay attention to any kind of nervousness that's coming up with you in your impulsivity. This has been going on since April. Well, it started last July, but since April 24th specifically. But have you gone on any big trips, or started studying astrology, or started studying anything this year?
Oh, no. Not yet, no.
Well, or maybe you're having awakenings around your ninth house is about higher education, long distance travel. It's our higher wisdom, our belief systems, our philosophies in life, religion. So you may just be really changing or adjusting, or just being aware of what things you really believe in could be coming up. And the planet Jupiter, you're going to have your Jupiter return. How old are you right now?
35.
You're 35?
Yes.
Oh, wow. I'm feeling old. I thought you were going to say you were 25 or something. I'm not catching up. Okay, I have to realize how old I really am and what the ages are. Okay, so anyway, you are having a 12th house year right now this year, where there are things that are being released so that new things can grow. So what the seeds you're planting over the next year can be great for you to expand going forward, because Jupiter going through Leo, it'll meet your natal Jupiter. And that can be a time of expansion in 11th house. Friends, groups, organizations, you can think about any of these topics. Are they ones that you want to have some growth within? This 4 degrees, the fact this is a big year for you. Do you have any children?
Oh, no.
Okay. I wonder if this is going to be a big year for dating or something for you with you. So if you're single and want to mingle, make sure your friends know that you want to meet people. Maybe you'll meet someone at a event with like a group or an organization, or through friends, because Jupiter going through the house of friends, expanding in that way could be possible. And let me see if there's anything else I want to say. You're in what's called a full moon phase in your progressions. Mercury's at the top of your chart. Let's see. Let me look at this solar eclipse in Leo. If there's something new you want to start, think about what it is with this. Yeah, this eclipse, this could be a really big new start for you. Are you single?
Yes.
Well, if you want to date, think about what you're looking for in a partner and what you bring to the table. Because this could be a time you're having this Jupiter return. There's a solar eclipse in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So what do you want? What are the things you want in your life? If you want to date someone, it's opposite your Venus. That could bring in new people. It could also bring in new opportunities for revenue and money with the North Node coming to your Venus. So if you want to be making money moves, this can be good timing for you to do that. And yeah, so keep that in mind. And look, Venus is in your first house. Maybe you'll be looking good, attractive, maybe get out and about around this August 12th. And who knows, you could meet someone special around this time. But there's a big story about your self-worth that you want to work on with Chiron squaring your sun. And be aware of what comes up within you and for healing. Let me pull you a card. And then I'll just answer a few questions. And that are in the chat. And Ashley, if you have to go, don't worry. I can handle the rest.
Okay, no worries. I answered some of the questions that I seen right in front, but
Okay,
I'll go back
great.
through and see if there are any more too.
Thank you so much. I so appreciate you. Let's see, Principe. I pulled the ritual card. Ritual. Let me tell you what that says. Oh, it has somebody around the holly. I wonder if you're going to meet somebody around Christmas time or something special around a holiday. Because it looks like they're like Christmas balls around this little. And I really want you to think about your relationship with these Leo themes of pride. And where do you let pride mess with you or get in the way of things with you? And does it come from that family story with all that Capricorn in that fourth house? There's something there about, stuff. Anyway, a ritual is more than repetition. It has repetition steeped in meaning, whether ancient or newly minted, whether enacted alone or shared with others. Ritual is a rhythm that grounds and sanctifies. It gathers what is scattered. It reminds you that even small acts, lighting a candle, dressing in symbolic costume, circling a date on a calendar can become soul signals, anchoring you to yourself and to something vaster. This card invites you to notice the rituals already present in your life and choose them with heart. Playful or solemn, simple or elaborate, ritual is a language the soul remembers. So this could be an alchemical vessel. So if you're setting intentions at the moon, if you're doing some kind of yoga or exercises or meditations or things like that, really be present with that ritual for yourself. And it'll help you grow and expand with things coming up. It holds you when chaos surrounds. It invites memory and motion. With Uranus on your Mars, I want you to be really mindful, and you're a Virgo rising, about any like anxiety or underlying like stress coming up within you. This can be a great time for healing, especially if there's a big father story of him being super critical or demanding of, you got to get A pluses, or I don't want to see an A minus on your report card, or whatever the story was. Like healing that you are okay as a human being and that you have value, you have worth. If it's affirmations you're telling yourself, do that. And, if you're really hard on yourself when you don't give, like you don't get an A plus, can you as a Virgo rising start letting go of some of that self-talk that's just like putting yourself down and start to recognize the beauty that you have as a person and have rituals and like some fun. This is like having some fun with your Jupiter return. Absolution. Absolutely. Yeah, absolution. What can you absolve yourself of? So think about that. And yeah, I hope you, if you're interested, you meet someone nice as Jupiter transits as the North Node. You got from July of this year, July 26th through March of 2028, the North Node will be in your 5th house, amplifying. This can bring in more people for dating. And yeah, maybe you'll meet someone nice. Okay. Let's see.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Full moons. Yeah, full moons. Oh, you already answered that. Oh, so Bridget's has a full moon on the 29th. Yeah, so really stay present for what's going on, Bridget. I think you're in the class with the moon. So remind me, and then I'll do your reading at the class, and we'll talk about the fact that the 29th is a big date. This means that Mercury is stationing retrograde at your birthday. So there's big internal stuff, or like maybe this next year is about finishing up some kind of projects, about doing some childhood healing or nostalgia. Maybe you're going to do like an ancestry project with all that energy yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, the Oracle deck, and I'll put it I'll send out a link with the recording and the slide deck, the information to join the class. If you join by tomorrow, I will put everybody's name into a drawing and somebody will win a free reading. This is the Dreaming Deck by Sue Hawkes. Yeah, the Dreaming Deck is a wonderful deck. I love it. She's an independent creator, so I'll put it so that you can purchase it. Ah, my pleasure. Oh, Pam's sun is at 4 Scorpio. So Pam, Jupiter and Uranus are going to be squaring your sun. So, I mean, not Uranus, Pluto. So Pluto's been squaring your sun since 2023. So there's this internal desire to like maybe break through boundaries, or you're becoming aware of your tendencies and traits, like you're becoming aware of your true self, and this come up for healing. And now with Jupiter coming in, I feel like Jupiter is a salve over that the work you've been doing since 2023. Absolutely. I'm going to pull you something from this deck. I'll just show you the picture. But yeah, that's a lot. And you're an Aquarius rising, so Pluto's coming to your ascendant. No, you don't need to hide. No, you don't need to hide at all. Absolutely not. I don't think so. Be mindful with your spouse. If you have one, they may be feeling like they may be having a Saturnian experience, or like the relationship feels like more work or things like that. I pulled the web. To me, this is about you connecting with others in community. I wish you could see it. It looks like a spider's web. Yeah, so that's what I'm seeing with you. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad people enjoyed it. I can't want to hear. My stomach was so upset. I'm like, oh no. When I picked this date, because I wanted to time my class for Mercury retrograde so that people could learn about their moon, and then really do the work with, and think of like really connecting with themselves while Mercury was retrograde. But Mars is really active. I have Mars in Taurus, and it was like in the 10th house or something. And I said, that's not the best time, but I'm going to do it anyway. And oh my God, like 10 minutes before my stomach was all oogly googly, but now I feel better. Yeah. Carol Rushman wrote, so I'm sorry, the beginning was kind of rough because I was just like, oh my God, am I going to be able to hold this together for this session? But Carol Rushman wrote The Art of Predictive Astrology. It's one of my favorite books. I'll put a link in, and it's really, really good. It reads almost like a novel because she talks about like, I should start gathering things like she did, like just all the anecdotes about what she saw. I'm going to do next year classes. I'm going to be teaching astrology more next year, in terms of like predictive astrology, as well as I really want to teach about a course about the art of the chart synthesis, how you even approach the chart for people who know astrology but want to deepen there. So I've got all these things I want to do, but I've just been so crazy busy this year. I haven't done it. Oh, the Star Codes deck. Oh, good. Oh, wonderful. I like that, Sam. I love that deck. Yeah. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Okay, Jupiter at the midheaven at 1 degree Virgo. So just out of Leo. Okay, so you have Jupiter in Virgo. Jupiter is going to go into Virgo. Well, first, what's happening is the South Node is coming through to your Jupiter right now. So what is, and you said the 9th house. So I think this is about, okay, what have you been learning that you potentially want to share? It could be bringing to your conscious attention any Virgo traits excessively, especially if think about the shadows, like the high road of Virgo is being really organized, being able to see patterns, systematize things, being of service, like really work to be on your high road of your Jupiter and Virgo, and really be mindful when that low road comes out, when it's like criticism. Like you do not want to be criticizing anyone with the South Node on your Jupiter. It can backfire on you, unless you have to, or like constructive criticism. Or be mindful with travel. Judith Hill talks about, it's just like Jupiter's long distance travel. The South Node there can be issues with it. So if you're going on any trips, be prepared to maybe be there a little longer than you planned because there could be delays or something. Be mindful not to forget things at home. Like you get there, oh my God, I forgot my contact solution or whatever. But it may be bringing to your conscious attentions patterns that you can heal. It may also be like you're sharing, like the South Node can turn things inside out and you're sharing this Jupiter stuff. Think about what house it rules as well. Yeah. But yeah, the South Node is a bit of a drain. Maybe you're thinking about giving something to charity. Maybe you're donating something to a raffle. Maybe you're broadcasting or being on a podcast or something, sharing what you know. Be mindful about, maybe you want to do something, talk to your doctor. A liver cleanse would be excellent, I think, if it's okay with your doctor. I'm not a doctor, with Jupiter on your South Node, if that's something that interests you, or like getting rid of alcohol or sugar for a couple of days or something. Yeah, that's what I'm getting with that. But a year from now, Jupiter's coming to your Jupiter return. So if you're learning new things or studying things or teaching things, that can be a time where things really start to take off, take flight. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I better get going. But thank you so much for attending, and I will get this out. If not tonight, first thing tomorrow. I'll get it out tonight. Okay. It's such a pleasure. Have a beautiful
you,
day.
Celeste.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashley,
you.
for help.
Thank you.
Thank you, Celeste. You were awesome and
Oh,
generous.
you're welcome.
Generous.
Thanks,
Thank
Celeste. I
you.
enjoyed it.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed
Thank
it.
you, Celeste.
Yeah. Have a beautiful, beautiful day.
You
You
too.
too.